Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, episode 689, a trust versus a system of trust. And this is definitely brought to you by the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, a trust versus a system of trust, and so yeah, we can hop straight into it. We get a lot of trustees that reach out, and a lot of people say, "Oh, I have a trust," and a lot of people have trust, and we come across a lot of people that just say they have a trust. And when you get deeper into it, you end up finding that it's a system, and the trust are there's multiple trust. It's not just one. They say, "Oh, trust Christian in the vault. I want to know the information that's hidden from me. The information that I always knew it was something else out there." Okay. And then you get some that say, "Oh, well, I'm in the trust. I'm good to go." And that's not it. Some people could say that's it, but it's really not it. A system of trust is traditionally what most families have to perpetuate generational wealth. We run into families where, in all actuality, these families traditionally families will have multiple entities that they're managing just because it's a system, and they have a checks and balances. They have one for family, they have one for investments, they have one for asset protection only. Oh, some people say, "Oh, trust Christian, this sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot to manage. I thought I was just going to get away with one." And that's not the case. And then we get families that get involved, and they're like, "Oh man, it seems like it's so much to manage." And in all actuality, it's 12 minutes, maybe an hour. So it's 12 hours in a year because it's 12 months and you spend an hour and investing an hour in perpetuating family wealth, coming up with brainstorming ideas, doing some tracking of the bank account, tracking of activities for the past 30 days in one meeting. And so you get it once again where you get reporting. When you have a system in place, traditionally you're gonna have a team of professionals you work with. So you're gonna work with some attorneys, you're gonna work with some accountants. We got to get back to what the mentors trained us to do, which is get accountants and lawyers that you can't afford. And it's unfortunate because so many people have small thinking that they don't think that way, and they say, "Oh man, I'm going to do it myself." So many trustees, "Oh, I'm going to do it myself." And you're just the biggest liability to the trust. You're supposed to be the biggest asset. You're the biggest liability because you don't have education and trusteeship fully. And so, how are you going to be an asset to the trust? The way that you outsource and actually get the talent that you need, the mindset that you need, you actually have to build a board, quote unquote. Some people understand that. And some people say, "Oh, how am I going to do it? How are we going to pay him? How do we have the money to pay him?" It's exactly that's why you put a system in place, and the system is based off performance. It's based off of a performance. Just like you got to perform for the trust, you have other people have to perform. Well, it's easier to do that in a system because this has a process with procedures for everybody's roles and responsibilities. But if they don't have that training or if they don't have that level of thought process, then they think that, "Oh, I'm going to do it all by myself in the trust." You know what I mean? Trustees come through. "Oh, I'll manage it by myself. Trust Christian involved. I don't know if I can afford the tax person. You're supposed to be consulting with them all year. That's being real. You're supposed to consult with them all year. "Oh man, Trust Christian involved. I don't need it. I can't afford these people right now." Right. You're supposed to consult with them throughout the year. The smaller cost. So you got sometimes smaller costs. Sometimes you can say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna show you what we doing. You're gonna see where we gonna look like at the end of the year, and charge me based off of what you think it's gonna be, based off of what I'm projecting and where I'm at." But oh no, this lack of business thinking is the challenge. No doubt about it. Got to get over it. Got to get up to speed. "Oh, okay, Trust Christian Vault. I'm not gonna do it myself." Yeah, I'll get me a professional. Exactly. So we bring out those individuals. Oh man, I run into a financial challenge. How you going? You want to know why you're running into financial challenges? Because you don't have a financial advisor. Oh, trust Christian Default. Are you serious? There's good ones and bad ones. Duh. There's good ones and bad ones. But how are you going to get quality up to date? Think about how many people say, "Oh, I lack financial education. I need financial education." Well, if you need financial education, you got to talk to financial advisors. Is it wrong? No. Financial advisors. Oh man, what if they try to lead me astray, Trust Christian? They gonna try to take me to the hammer. What are you talking about? These people want to do a background check on you first of all. They want to vet you as a client. What is your net worth? You know what I mean? People don't know their true net worth. Their true net worth, like the paper. So then we get into trust, and it's like, okay, now we got to get some professionals around us. Some people that can do what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it. And they actually have done it in the past. They got a track record too. You can trust them. You know how many people we run into? Oh man, I don't trust anybody. That's literally what we hear. I don't trust anybody. How are you going to be successful in business and you don't trust people? How are you going to be successful and trust if you don't trust people? Oh, trust Christian to vote, though. What do you mean? You haven't gotten burned. Somebody tried to sit in front of us the other day. You haven't lost $500,000 trying to tell us the hard truth that they lost $500,000 and we're sitting there edifying them. Maybe it's because they don't read books, Trust Christian, so they don't know what it's like to lose $1 billion. They don't know what it's like to be on the edge for more than a measly $500,000. They don't know, so they want to gripe about it there. That's fine. So what, you're not going to go out and take more risks now that you lost $500,000? You think Warren Buffett hasn't lost money? You think Warren Buffett hasn't lost money? How is it one of the most successful investors, which people try to say that they're doing? I'm investing, Trust Christian. Oh, I'm doing passive investments, Trust Christian. Okay, so Warren Buffett lost more money. Is that not the case? But oh no, Trust Christian, you don't know. I'm not Warren Buffett. Exactly, you're not Warren Buffett. Clearly. So where are we at with it? Oh, did you read Warren Buffett's book? Oh no, I didn't get to that yet. I got so much going on, man. I've been traveling. I've been doing everything but reading the Best Investor, that he's lost a lot of money and he ain't crying about it or complaining about it either. Exactly. Because that's a part of the game. It's actually a game. It's a financial game. People want to jump over into trust, but they forgot what it's like to be competitive. It's so crazy to know how many people don't think that they're being competitive in business or think that they're being competitive in trust. How are you not competitive? That is a disease. Oh, I'm not competitive. Then, so you're saying that if someone comes and tries to buy your asset, you won't sell. But then if other people are buying assets around you, literally, they didn't create the term blackmail for no reason. You can get blackmailed in the business industry. Did you know that? Your family estate, if you ain't moving a certain way, you can get blackmailed out of deals. Oh no, Trust Christian. You, I don't need you to tell me that. I've never experienced it before. I've never been blackmailed in the business before. I don't know what that's like. That sounds like something that's not real. And then when you hear about others, when you get around other successful entrepreneurs, when you get around other people in trust, and they tell you that's why they moving in trust a certain way, then you see, okay, it's a little different. Like, okay, they're moving different. Why? Because sometimes certain families, people don't want them to be in the industry because of what they've done in previous industries. I don't want to be competitive, Trust Christian, in the vote. I just don't want to. Okay. Well, we see successful trustees, the system. Think about it. A system's going to be greater than one because it's more than one. And they're all successful. and they're managed and you don't know who owns them, and they're coming in from a different angle. They could create an onslaught of bidding because they're separate people. But people want to sit around and play with it though. I don't understand it. I don't know it. That's the only assessment we could say. You'll see things on the internet say, oh, well, if you got a system, you know, a system of trust, that's illegal. That's some fraudulent stuff. That's some stuff that you shouldn't be touching. Oh, really? But then when we look at any elite, they have more than one. They have more than two. They have more than three. They have more than four. They have more than five. Any elite. Any politician that you think has made it to some level, the congressional level system. I'm not them, Trust Christian. I'm not congressional. Okay. Now you know why. Now you know how the competition looks. The competition has multiple, and they're managing it. And they got professional managers. No doubt about it. They got a professional manager managing it. And what are they doing? They going out and doing what a trustee's supposed to do. If you really were studying your politicians, you would see how you would move as a trustee. Maybe not as dirty, but you would definitely move the proper way as a politician. They are your modern day trustees of the welfare state. And when you look at it, you either are going to be a benefactor of that state, and that is a beneficiary, or you're going to be a trustee. And as you can see, the politicians are the trustees of the welfare state. It's as simple as that. And if you're going to be generational wealthy, independently wealthy, trust Christian in the vault, because I'm generational wealth mindset. If you're generational wealth mindset, it's a system. Bottom line. No ifs, ands, buts about it. No questions about it. No doubts about it. No, do you need to know about it? Definitely. Trust Christian, I got a hard time managing my life. I could barely manage my life. I could barely get people come to the meeting. I'm gonna get them to come to the system, and I gotta do. How am I gonna build a system? I'm focused on one. So sometimes I'm just trying to get in trust. I just heard about this trust thing, right? But then people jump into it almost with a closed mindset sometimes. Oh, I just need to trust because I heard that's all I need. I heard on the internet, I saw the guys with the meme videos, the short reels and the shorts, and they said if you get a trust to protect the LLC, everything should be fine. And, and they almost are telling you lies. Then you get involved with someone like the vault, you reach out to the vault, and they say, oh no, it's a system. And all elite are operating with systems. Because the system's gonna outlive you. The trust can outlive you too, but you hear the difference. It's the system of trust that can outlive you, or you want the trust to outlive you. There is a difference. Is it just asset protection, or is it a system of perpetual wealth? Let's talk. Because it is bigger than, oh, I just need to get a trust. I have a trust. It's protected my assets. How are you going to get in trust and sit on assets? It costs money to make it. Excuse me, it costs money to hold it. It costs money to manage it. So it's a system. That's the difference. So are you going to use the system, or are you going to have the mindset of, oh, I just need to get into this thing and get going in trust, and I'll be good because all my friends got it. It's like, well, we can tell you right now that's not a recipe for success. Putting a system in place is always going to outperform just having a trust. Some people just say, I have a trust, and it's okay. Well, what type of trust is it? Oh, okay. Answers get minimal. It's like, right. Like, it's more to it than I just have a trust. But because of the internet, it's easy branding to say, oh, just get in a trust and, everything will be fine. It's like, no, that's not accurate. And so the system, if it's perpetuated properly, is truly a system. Because the system's going to outlive second gen, third gen. It's a system. It's got an operating manual in it. How many people put operating manuals in a trust? Oh man, I don't know how to do that. Then we sit here, we work with trustees and AI, they come up with an entire operating manual. For how many people are putting in the work for the system? And when you really understand system thinking, you know that it cannot just be one person. So when we ask that question, how many people are putting in the work? It should easily be, okay, we got some professionals on our team. We have some good. I got contractors in my public business, Christian. Right. You got professionals in your public business too, correct? Yeah. So then it changes when you get into an environment where you have to find new professionals that work in that environment and actually use them because it's different now. It's not just based off of the upfront fee. It's the back end fee. It's generational wealth. It's not the front end fee. It's the back end fee. Oh man, Trust Christian, I wonder how much this person gonna cost me or that person gonna cost me. Oh, this person is in trust, so it's gonna cost me a lot more than a regular person, right? Who do I even go to for that? How much did you call around to get the quotes? See, most people don't know the questions to ask. That's all it is, and we're here to share what those questions would be. So, some of the questions you would be when you talk, and this is interesting because we've put people in touch with enrolled agents at the vault. Now, if people want to question an enrolled agent, that's on them. But at the vault, we put out people that work for the IRS. When these people that work for IRS and they come on and they have a conversation with you and talk to you about a system, they understand what they're talking about. They're tax strategists. We've interviewed Larissa. Please go listen to that episode. You can reach out to her. But it's a system now. You have a system of professionals like her where she's going to give you the lowdown truth. Then when you talk about lawyers or attorneys, uh, you're looking for not just the state attorneys. Sometimes you can look for trust attorneys. Interestingly enough, we ran into this one family recently that holds a lot of gold, and they literally said most of the people that were sitting on the line with us, they were quote unquote they were attorneys based off of the fact that they went to law school and they passed they went through law school. They're actually certified. They just didn't take they just chose not to take the bar. So sometimes you can find people that are barred or not barred. That's just a option on your end. But find a barred or unbarred attorney. Obviously you don't want somebody that's been disbarred, but sometimes they just may have been taking the bar exam, but they have the Juris Doctorate, and we associate with those individuals. Some people say, "Oh, where can I find them, Trust Christian in the Vault?" You can find them at your local business chamber of commerces. You can find them at you're gonna find them all over, like your clubs, any type of business club. Traditionally, you can find your attorneys. But when you say questions, what questions do I need to ask? Well, you ask them, do you deal in trust law? Do you deal in international trust? These are questions that you want to ask. Are you familiar with private trust? Oh, blah blah blah. Are you familiar with common law trust? Oh, okay, blah blah blah. These are things that you ask them those questions, and based off of those questions, they'll be able to aid you, share, maybe send you to someone that can actually help you. It's definitely a very simple process, ladies and gentlemen, when you're talking about attorneys. Some people say, "Oh, well, can you put us in contact with one?" Well, we've actually interviewed attorneys on here several times, Juris Doctorate, barred attorneys, and otherwise. Levon is a barred attorney. She's definitely barred, and she's actually a SEC certified, so she has quite a few certifications as well. We've done interviews with her. So we've interviewed attorneys. We've asked the questions. You can go back and listen to that episode. But if you talk to her, she'll let you know as well. Unfortunately, so many people think they just need to get a trust. and she'll share with you, hey, it's a system. Why? Because she's in the system. She's not just in trust, she's in foundation too. She understands private. And so when we sit here and we talk about, hey, trust Christian involved, I really gotta like figure this stuff out. No, a lot of people don't want to reach out on their own. Oh, trust Christian, can you risk your name and your credibility to reach out for us? Well, why won't you reach out? We met her cold. You meet her cold. There's nothing wrong with meeting people cold. You got to get used to that. Why? Because you're in a sector where you're just diving in head first. I'm jumping into the wealth sector, trust Christian involved, and hey, I just don't want to, make cold relationships or get cold relationships. If you just refer to the vault, it's not a cold relationship. Hey, I was listening to the vault. I heard you on the vault. Want to find out more information about X, Y, and Z because it's a system. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Definitely love hearing from the people. We definitely have had a bunch of inquiries this year, and even as of recent, and mainly the focus is just right now management. A lot of people are saying they don't really know how to manage it, so they have a trust, but they don't have a management system in place. And a management system is a trust system, so it's not just it's just multiple. It's actually like a management system in place, and those are things that once again come from various things that we bring up with them on the consultations. So if you want a consultation, feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, it's Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace and joy.